What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to 76ers Now, Day 2 live show for NBA free agency. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in here today and everybody who tuned in yesterday for what was a very successful Day 1 of NBA free agency as well. A bunch of moves that have already happened here today and a bunch more moves that I'm sure will happen. Not just with the Sixers today, but a lot of moves that happen around the NBA. But we've certainly got plenty to talk about when it comes to the Philadelphia 76ers. So we're going to dive into all of that right here on 76ers Now by Chat Sports. I'm Jake Chipper. Thank you for joining us. And let's just get started by getting the comment section going a little bit. All my real ones down in the chat. Shout out your city. Let me know where you're watching from as I see the Card Kid down in the comment section. CB the One says, yo, I'm here. Yo, what's going on? Obviously recognize both of y'all from day one. Going live a little bit early here. We're scheduled for 4:30 Eastern, but hey, was ready to go. Said, why not send it? Why not get it going here as we wait to see if any moves are made by Philadelphia on day 2 of free agency. Of course, on day 1, nothing happened while we were live, and then later that night, late on Monday night, they signed Trendon Watford to a 2-year, $5.3 million deal. And then, of course, Guerschon Yabusele, man. Guerschon Yabusele is gone. He is a New York Knick, no longer a Philadelphia 76er. So, pretty disappointing, all things considered. I knew Yabu would be gone, right? We knew Guerschon Yabusele was not going to stick around on this team more likely than not. But the fact that he goes to the New York Knicks, of all teams, man, that one hurt. That one hurt for sure. And now we're going to have to play him multiple times a year over there on the Knicks. Quentin Grimes still remains unsigned. We'll see how long that deal takes to complete. I could see that dragging out really to the end of the week. Restricted free agents usually do take a little bit of time. Not a huge market out there, though, for Quentin Grimes, I think, with some teams that had cap space using that cap space already. So not too much money out there for Quentin Grimes, probably as much as he would like, really. So we'll see if they can come to an agreement, him and Daryl Morey. Line to win! Line to win in the chat, and you can see right next to Line to win's name, top fans here. One of the top fans sending in live chat messages, sending in super chats, and all of that. Line to win, you're number 1 right now. Let's go. You got your guy, VJ Edgecombe, a 76er. Sixers released their Summer League roster. And no Jared McCain, unfortunately. We thought maybe there was a chance Jaren McCain would be part of the Summer League team, but he is not. He was on the court practicing a little bit with the Summer League squad earlier today, taking some jumpers, moving around well, wearing that big leg sleeve. But he will not be playing in Summer League. It is a good roster, though. Consists of the likes of Justin Edwards, Adem Bona, of course, the 2 rookies in VJ Edgecombe and Janai Broom. Interesting, no Milicic in there. No Igor Milicic in there, which is interesting. One of their UDFA pickups. Did not see him on the roster, so not sure what's going on there with him. Rayman5407, what up? Yabu is dead to me. Man, it sucks that he had to go to the Knicks because a fan favorite, right? Someone that everybody on this team loves. But then he had to go around and go to New York. Look, obviously it's nothing personal from him, but it's kind of personal to us. I think a little bit. He's got to know it's pretty big rivalry between the Knicks and the Sixers. But you know what? If that's a team that was giving him the money he was looking for and a team that he feels can compete in the playoffs, then, you know, business is business, as Mitch Beats points out in the chat. Line to win. VJ equals leadership equals Maxey. Yeah, VJ seems like he's going to be a great leader, really from day 1, even as a rookie, which is pretty rare. Pretty rare to see. Peter Thurman, Delco, yo! What's up, Peter Thurman? Absolute legend, absolute real one. He's wearing our Eagles Now Real One shirt in that profile picture at the link. Absolute legend. in the chat. 70 people hanging out. Only 11 likes. Can we get that number up? Can we get that number up to 40 likes right here, right now? Right here, right now. If you want the Sixers to re-sign Grimes today, I want you to smash that thumbs up icon. Like the video. Let's get it done. Let's get Grimes signed. Let's get it at a price that we can both agree on. Let's get it at a price we can both agree on. Peter Thurman says it. Like this, John. Like this, John. Let's go. When it comes to Grimes, I'm looking somewhere in the $15 to $18 million range. Probably on the higher end of that range. Greeny Green, number 3 top commenter. The Sixers aren't trying to win now or build for the future. What are we doing? I think they're trying to win now. If you're talking about them letting Yabusele go, they really just didn't have the money to be able to bring in Guerschon. Unfortunately, they only had that taxpayer mid-level exception to use, and unfortunately, if they use it, there's a good chance that they won't be able to bring back Quentin Grimes. They obviously want to be able to bring Grimes back. So that is why Yabusele is not returning. And that is why he signed for pretty cheap with the New York Knicks, who were able to use it. What's going on, Beast? Big man? Oh, nothing, just hanging out. Just hanging out, having a good time. I'm just chilling. Yeah, just whenever I please. Yeah, you know, little free agency stream. No. No, no NHL over here. No. Line to win. Grimes coming home. Let's hope it's today, man. Let's hope it is today. And let's hope it's for under $20 million. Bro, we just started, man. Just started. Just started. Yeah? Hey, all right, my boy Trizzy Trace. Some of you guys might know Trace if you watch our Eagles channel. I know Peter Thurman probably knows Trace. Peter Thurman's in the chat right now. I'll get to your question in 1 second, Peter. Trizzy says he's trying to get wild, right? It's a Tuesday. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So he said for a $50 super chat right now, he'll do a beer bong. You know what? I'll do one with him. We'll do a beer bong race for a $50 super chat right now. Me versus Trizzy. I'm dusting his ass, that's for sure. Peter says, what do you think it would cost to get Trey Lyles? It's going to be a vet min. A vet min for sure. He's not going to cost a whole lot. That's a good option, though. Peter says, what's good, Triz? He says, what's good? Yeah, Trey Lyles is a vet min kind of guy, but want to bring another forward in here, someone that can space the floor a little bit, make some good passes. I wouldn't mind Trey Lyles for a minimum. Rayman, sign and trade Grimes for a real power forward. I don't think they're going to sign and trade Grimes. The issue with that is when you're a restricted free agent, and this is the same thing with Jonathan Kuminga. It's why it's so hard to figure out a sign and trade. When you're a restricted free agent and you want to go with a sign and trade, the Sixers can only take back half of whatever his contract is. So say they sign him to a $20 million a year contract, Sixers can only take back $10 million. So it makes things complicated. Because you want a good power forward, that's a good idea, but you can only get somebody making 10 M's, and there's not a whole lot of great power forwards out there that are that cheap. Jimmy Mnemonic, sign Grimes, trade Oubre and Drummond. Yeah, so we did get a report late last night that the Sixers, over the past 24-plus hours, have been trying to trade Andre Drummond. He picked up his player option, about $5 million for this upcoming season, but like I said it when he picked it up, he's not going to stick around very long. You have Autumn Bone on the roster. You drafted Janai Broom. You just only that $5 million on there, and Drummond was not good last year, and he was hurt for a large part of the season as well. So ship him out. Get him out of there. And try to open up some money. Now, you could package him with Oubre, like Jimmy says. That'll get you what? $13 million right there? You could get a decent player for that price, but does anybody want that package? Carlos, why are we holding on to Kyle Lowry? Man, I don't know. I don't know. He should be gone. He should be an assistant coach on the bench. There's no reason he should be playing it on this roster. He's not technically on the roster right now. He's a free agent, but he'll be back on the minimum. He says he wants to play one more year. I got you, brother. All right, Trizzy's out of here. Oh, we're going to get it done. Reminder, $50. Me and Trizzy are beer bong race for a $50 super chat. Beer bong race for a $50 super chat. But yeah, look, I wouldn't want to hang on to Kyle Lowry, but unfortunately, he wants to play one more year. Seems like they're going to give him that option to play one more year with Philadelphia. CB the One, yo, what's good? What's good? CB the One was rocking with us yesterday. Mitch Beats, number 2 top commenter. Is Ricky Council still on the roster? Ricky Council is still on the roster. I don't think he's going to have a huge role this year, unfortunately. He's not playing in Summer League either. But he is still on the roster. Jason Clark, Indiana doesn't have a center or a point guard. Trade Paul George and Drummond for Pascal Siakam and a first-round pick. I would do that in an instant. Indiana, no chance they're doing that. They're not giving up Pascal Siakam for Paul George, and they're definitely not giving up a first-round pick as well. Carlos, give that number 7 away to the rookie. I wish they would just give it to him. And that's another reason why I think Kyle Lowry should become a coach. He's not even on the roster right now, but they're still saving number 7 just for him, just for when he gets back. So instead, we got to see VJ Edgecombe rock the number 77, man. Unbelievable. Tani Dotson, we need to get rid of Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon actually declined his player option, so he's not on the roster right now. He's an unrestricted free agent. There's some buzz he might come back, but as of right now, he is a free agent, not on the team. All right, we can go through some of these moves that happen. Be sure to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Almost 80 people, 23 likes. Try to get that number up a little bit, get some more people in here hanging out with us. But we can look at some of the moves that happened since we signed off yesterday. So I think right around here is when we signed off. So Caris LeVert signed a 2-year, $29 million deal with Detroit. This is notable for Philadelphia because Detroit was a team that could have had the cap space to go after Quentin Grimes, but they decided to go after Caris LeVert instead after the Malik Beasley incident, the gambling allegations. Brook Lopez signing a 2-year, $18 million deal with the LA Clippers. He was a target for the Lakers, but ends up going to the Clippers as well for $9 million a year. Luka Garza signing with the Celtics on a cheap contract. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The Hawks continue to have a great offseason. He signs there for about $15.5 million a year. A very good player for Minnesota. Ends up in Atlanta. I like what they're doing over there. Tyus Jones signing a 1-year deal with Orlando. I like that signing a lot as well. Good backup point guard depth to have. One of the better point guards in the league in terms of taking care of the ball, though he's had a couple of down years over there in Phoenix. Luke Kennard, the shooter. We were talking about him for Philadelphia. He gets a lot more money than the Sixers could have afforded. I thought he would get in that taxpayer mid-level, about $5 million. He gets a 1-year, $11 million deal from Atlanta. Another shooter to pair up there with Trae Young. You got Mason Plumlee returning to the Charlotte Hornets. 1-year, $3.6. Taurean Prince, another player I would have liked on Philadelphia, a veteran wing who can, play some minutes for you, 3-and-D experienced guy. Back to Milwaukee, 2 years, $7. Jordan Clarkson ended up signing with the New York Knicks. We don't know the full details yet. It's going to be a 1-year deal, probably a minimum there. Look, not someone I wanted on Philadelphia. Knicks fans are excited about that move. Personally, I wouldn't be. An inefficient scorer, not going to play defense. Can be a good spark plug off the bench, but I did not want to dabble in that. And then the move that we covered last night here on the show, Trendon Watford, formerly of the Portland Trailblazers, formerly of the Brooklyn Nets, signing a 2-year, $5.3 million deal with Philadelphia. We can talk about him a little more in depth here in a second, but I like what Watford brings to the table. He's a 6'8" wing, forward/center, with a 7'2" wingspan, a little bit of a tweener, right? He's not big enough to be a center, not quite quick enough to truly play on the wing, but he's an interesting player. He's got a nice handle. He can run the pick and roll as a forward, as the ball handler in the pick and roll. He's got a nice floater. 3-point shot's pretty inconsistent. The jumper's pretty slow, but he really excels in transition. He can pass out of the post, similar to like a Janai Broom. He can make some good decisions. He's a pretty good athlete. Not a very good defender, however. So that's kind of your Guerschon Yabusele replacement. I don't mind it for the minimum signing that it is, and it's a younger player as well. Also of note, excuse me, Tyrese Maxey, good friends with Trendon Watford. Gary Trent Jr. back to Milwaukee. Also would have liked him at that price, but he returns to the Bucks. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Woo! Look at that number. Look at that number right here. 4 years, $285 million extension for the MVP, Finals MVP, NBA champion, scoring leader in the NBA. And he gets, let's see, 285 over 4. An average annual value, get this, almost $72 million a year. Insane. We're going to start seeing a lot more contracts like that. Then we got Guerschon Yabusele, as I mentioned, going to the New York Knicks. Unfortunate that he ended up in New York. We knew Guerschon was going to be leaving. We knew he was probably not returning to Philadelphia, but the fact he went to the New York Knicks of all teams, man, just puts a pit in my stomach. Makes me a little bit upset, a little bit angry. But I can understand why he would make that move. Sixers just could not pay Guerschon, is what it is. Then the huge shocker of the day. This was not expected. All the reporting we've had up until now was that Miles Turner was going to go back to Indiana. They were going to go over the luxury tax for the first time in a while and pay Miles Turner. That did not happen, and that kind of set off a ripple effect across the NBA. Miles Turner signs a 4-year, $107 million deal with Milwaukee. And you're thinking, whoa, how can Milwaukee afford this? They're paying Dame, they're paying Giannis. They're not paying Dame no more. Well, they are paying Dame, but not on the team anymore, as they have released Damian Lillard after signing Miles Turner. They're stretching his contract, which means they are going to owe him $113 million over the next 5 seasons to not be on the roster. They're paying him over $100 million over 5 years to not play for them. That's unbelievable. And apparently Giannis Antetokounmpo, according to some NBA sources, Chris Haynes, not very happy that the Bucks went ahead and released Damian Lillard. And apparently he's sort of looking into his options and evaluating his situation in Milwaukee. So could we see a Giannis trade? I doubt it, but it's certainly possible. Jonas Valanciunas was traded to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Sixers legend Dario Saric. Bucks made a couple more moves, signing Gary Harris. I don't mind that. That would have been a player I would have liked on the minimum contract. The Bucks also getting off of Pat Connaughton's contract, sending Connaughton and 2 second-round picks to the Charlotte Hornets for Vasilije Micic. So that's a little small deal there, salary dump for Milwaukee. We officially got the Dennis Schroeder news. We knew he was signing with Sacramento, but officially signs a 3-year, $15 million per year, 3-year, $45 total million deal. Bucks also adding Jericho Sims, so very busy in free agency today. The athletic center, formerly of the New York Knicks. Then Mamu. Who was it that someone in the chat yesterday said that we should sign Mamu? I can't remember who it was. If you're here, let me know that was you. Mamu gets a deal with the Toronto Raptors. Had a really good game against the New York Knicks last year. And gets a small little deal there for Toronto. Then Jakob Poeltl gets a huge deal, over $25 million a year for Jakob Poeltl, sticking around, extending his deal in Toronto. Some buzz that he could have been traded on the move in a potential Kevin Durant trade. But he'll stick around for now. 4 years, $104 million. And then the latest signing we got today, a small one, Josh Minot, signing a 2-year, $5 million deal with the Boston Celtics. So that is where we are at right now. All caught up, all the moves that have been made today. And these are all the moves that have been made by the Sixers in free agency. Of course, Andre Drummond returning, accepting his player option, 1 year, $5 million. Justin Edwards, the Sixers declined his team option and then gave him a new 3-year deal. We'll see what those details are. Kelly Oubre also accepting his player option. 1 year, $8.3 million. And then Trendon Watford, as we mentioned, signing a 2-year, $5.3 million deal with the 76ers. And that is where we are at now, all caught up with all the moves. Quick reminder, we are closing in on 23,000 subscribers here on the channel. We are only 44 subscribers away. So if you're not subscribed, if you're here with us, obviously, we're going live we went live for the draft. We're live for free agency. We always got you covered with all the latest Sixers news, rumors, analysis, and more. If we get to 23K today on this stream, I will shotgun a beer in celebration. Again, we are about 44 people away. Can we get there? I think we can do it, man. I think we can do it. So lock us in. Hit that sub button. Sixers news every single day. Lock us in right now. Hit that sub button. I think we just picked up a sub right there, so appreciate whoever that was. Let's get back to the comment section here. Who is in the comments? What y'all got to say? CB the one. Where do you think Damian Lillard is going to go? I think Detroit. I don't think Detroit. I think he'll probably end up going to the Miami Heat. They were a team that was very interested in him when he was initially requesting a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers. He didn't end up going there. He traded to Milwaukee, obviously. But I think he'll take his time. He's not going to play this season because he did tear his Achilles. So whatever team Dame signs with, he's not going to be available this year. But they could sign him and sign him to a multi-year deal, have him in the building for the season, and then get him on the squad next year. Godspeed. Grimes getting to 10 to 12 a year. Couldn't we have kept Yabu too? Look, if Grimes does end up getting that cheap of a deal, then yes, theoretically, you could have kept Guerschon Yabusele, but I don't think you're going to be able to get Grimes for less than, like, the cheapest I think is like $15 million. So I wouldn't bet 10 to 12. Jose Padilla. I would love it. I would love if it was possible to trade Oubre and Drummond for Denny Avdia. That dude is nice. That dude is nice. Unfortunately, that would obviously never happen. I don't think it's even possible money-wise. Because he signed a contract extension with Washington and then was traded to Portland. I mean, making $14 million, so you could actually swing that, but yeah, I mean, they wouldn't take that anyway, so. Avdi would be great on this squad, though. Carly Moore, Sixers sign and trade. Sixers get Jonathan Kuminga. Warriors get Andre Drummond, Trendon Watford, and a 2028 first rounder. I think the Warriors would probably want a little bit more than that. You also got to factor in the salaries. How much are the Sixers signing Kuminga for? Because they don't really have like the cap space, so you'd be losing out on Grimes too. I'd rather have Quentin Grimes than Jonathan Kuminga. So I'm good on Jonathan Kuminga. Godspeed. We should trade Drummond and sign and trade Jared Butler for Obi Toppin. Look at the Pacers are looking to save even more money, and they don't think they're going to end up paying Obi Toppin long term. I would love Obi Toppin on this team. I mean, we saw him in the finals, a athletic guy that can shoot, play some good defense, just a solid role player. So if they're looking to move off of him, then for sure, but they just lost Miles Turner, so they don't necessarily need to clear up more money. SGA getting $1 million a game. Yeah, it's nuts. He's only getting paid like $1 million every single game next year. Just under. It's absolutely insane. JS, Suns need to do with Beal what the Bucks did with Lillard. They might. There's a chance. Although I did see something earlier today that Bradley Beal wouldn't get nearly as much money as Dame got. Some CBA rule. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's certainly an option for the Suns if they don't find a trade partner. I don't know who's trading for Bradley Beal. Larry Jackson Watford, I imagine, is a better defender than Guerschon. Better rebounder. That's where we were hurting at. My man cannot rebound or play defense. Watford's not a good defender. Decent rebounder. I don't know if he's a better defender than Guerschon. Neither of them, I would say, are very good. But I think he has some more skills offensively. He's not as good of a shooter, but he could do a little bit more creating than Guerschon could. Seeing more Jonathan Kuminga sign and trade to the Sixers. Nah, man. I don't need Kuminga on this roster. I've had to listen to my man Smitty enough about how bad that Kuminga can be at times. Even if he has his stretches, even if he has his good moments, he has a lot of poor moments as well, and he's asking for a lot of money when he's pretty unproven. Now, he is still very young and still has theoretical upside and theoretical potential, but not someone I'm super interested in. Appreciate that we picked up 4 subs right there. So we are now only 42 people away from 23K. Let's hit it today. Let's get it. Let's get it. Watford is a decent defender. The Nets' defensive rating was better with Watford on the floor. I don't love using the whole defensive rating metric. Now, that team also sucks. So they might just go from bad to slightly less bad. But, everything I've seen from him is he's not like a turnstile by any means, but, someone you are definitely worried about on the defensive end. It's really, he's an interesting matchup because do you run him at small ball 5? If you do, he's going to have a tough time guarding some of the bigger 5s around the league. And if you run him at 4, he can guard some 4s, but if you got, your typical more athletic 4s out there, he can't quite hold up on that end. But he's also young. He can absolutely get better. Jason Bennett. Nick Richards is a free agent, right? No. Nick Richards, unless he got released, I don't think he did. He's still on the Suns. Now, they obviously brought in Mark Williams. So funny. Nick Richards and Mark Williams both end up going from the Hornets to Phoenix. Nick Richards is still under contract with the Phoenix Suns, but he's a trade target. He's a trade target for sure. I would like Nick Richards a whole lot more than Andre Drummond, I'll tell you that much. If we get Grimes back, the East is so wide open, we have a chance to go all the way. I've been kind of talking about this, like, the East now, Indiana, I already thought wasn't going to be much of a player, and now they lose Miles Turner as well. They're really in trouble for next season, so they're not really in the picture at all at this point. I still don't think Milwaukee is that dangerous, even adding Miles Turner. Obviously, still no Damian Lillard, and you have Giannis, you have Turner, but outside of that, like Kyle Kuzma, I'm not really worried about that roster. Celtics, obviously, trading away Porzingis, trading away Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum out for the year with the Achilles. So they're not going to be quite as dangerous as you once thought. It's the Knicks, it's the Cavs, the Magic should be improved, the Pistons, but none of these teams are. I'm not terrified of any of these teams, right? So I think the Sixers, if they can stay fully healthy, which is a big if for sure, they have a chance, man. They have a chance. If they get Grimes back, they get Embiid at least somewhat close to full strength. You get Paul George back at full strength. You get Jared McCain back at full strength, who was practicing today with the Summer League roster, then all of a sudden I think you have a shot. But it really all depends on health, man. That's just what it is for Philadelphia, unfortunately. Year after year after year, it's the same story. It's, can this team stay healthy? If they can, they'll have a shot. If not, then got to be looking ahead to next year and probably see some major changes. Do you have a super chat menu here today? If you don't know a super chat, it's that $ right in between the rectangular box on your screen. It's basically like a tip or a donation to the show. It does go a long way in helping us, keep the lights on and all of that. And, it really does show the appreciation, and we really appreciate it when you guys send those in. And when you do send them in, every super chat of any amount gets a shout out from 99 cents to however much you want to send. Everyone's going to get a shout out and going to get some love because I really appreciate you guys sending that over here. A $5 super chat. I got a few beers over here. I'm ready to crack one, get one going here on this Tuesday. So $5, I'll open a beer, take a little sip for every $5. $10, we got a wheel. If you were here yesterday, we got a few wheel spins in yesterday. There's some fun options on there, including you can add something of your choosing to the wheel that I have to do. Within a reason, all right? It's $10 for a wheel spin. $20, I'll take a shot. I got some vodka right here next to me, ready to go, the Tito's. If we reach $100 total on today's show, I will do a shotgun. If we get $100. And Trizzy Trace, for those of you who know Trizzy Trace, he said that if someone sends in a 50, he will race me in a beer bong race. All right? Get a little crazy here today. So for a 50, you'll get to see a beer bong race between myself and Trizzy Trace. We also are trying to beat my man Smitty over at Warriors Today in our Super Chat battle. We have yet to receive one here today. Smitty hosts our Warriors channel. They are live as well right now. They've been live for a little bit longer than we have, so they're up to $21 at Super Chats. I want to beat him. I want bragging rights, man. I want bragging rights. And I know Sixers fans get down better than Warriors fans do for sure. So let's try to take the lead here if we can. Get ahead on Smitty and Warriors Today. 156 people watching live. If you got a question, a comment, anything, you can put it in the chat. We'll chop it up as we wait here for the Sixers to make some type of move. We did just get another move that was made here. Another good move by the Denver Nuggets, who I think have had a pretty solid free agency. They obviously made the trade for Cam Johnson, sending out Michael Porter Jr. to Denver. They brought back Bruce Brown. Trade for Jonas Valanciunas. Now they're bringing in Tim Hardaway Jr. on a one-year deal. I don't mind that move at all. Assuming it's like a minimum contract or close to it. Just a nice veteran shooter off the bench. Not really sure he was a target for Philadelphia. Given that, they have Grimes, they have Edgecombe, but you could have added one more guy off the bench there. Yeah, we'll see what that ends up being. Great offseason, though, for the Denver Nuggets, man. Good stuff over there for sure. Rockets, Hawks, Nuggets, like what all those teams have done. So we'll see if Philadelphia makes any moves today. Mo for minimum. Mo Wagner. Oh, yeah, I see Godspeed talking about Mo Wagner as well. Yeah, Orlando declined Mo Wagner's team option. I believe it was about $11 million, so probably a little bit rich for him. But Mo Wagner's a tremendous backup big, man. If he's signing for the minimum, I'd be all over that. Orlando has Wendell Carter, Goga Bitadze. They let him go. Sixers reportedly looking to trade Andre Drummond as well. So you move on from Drummond. Hopefully, you bring in someone younger like a Mo Wagner, who, man, he plays with some fire, man. He plays with some fire. There's no doubt about that. Godspeed. Mo Wagner, Amani Bates, Marjon Beauchamp, and Daron Sharpe. Well, Daron Sharpe re-signed with Brooklyn, so he is off the table. Amani Bates, I get the intrigue. Former top recruit in high school. Never really panned out in college and in the NBA, but has some talent. I don't know if I'm using a roster spot on him, though. And then Marjon Beauchamp, just never shown anything with the Milwaukee Bucks. There's some other directions I'd go before those two. I would have liked Daron Sharpe a lot. But he re-signed. Mo Wagner, though, that's the name. That's the name to keep an eye on for sure. Yo, Line Fighter, what's going on? LFX in the chat saying like and sub. You're a real one, Lion Fighter. Y'all take his advice, man. 182 people watching. 50 likes. If we can get to 75 likes in the next 2 minutes, I got a drink here. I'll crack it open. Totally free. 75 likes in the next 2 minutes. That's 25 more likes by 4:55. We'll give it 3 minutes. So 25 more likes. Get us 75. I'll crack my drink. You got a few minutes to get that done. Hashtag real one. Lion Fighter is a real one. You see that tag next to his name too. Number 3 top commentator. The more super chats you send in, the more comments you send in, you can get that badge next to your name that tells you what kind of rank you are almost on the live stream today. Godspeed, yo, Chip, is Alex Len cooked? Alex Len is cooked. I'd rather have Andre Drummond than Alex Len, for sure. Carly Moore, I don't think Mo Wagner wants to leave his brother. Look, I don't think he'd want to, but the Magic declined his team option. And so unless they want him back, he doesn't really have much of a choice. I don't think he has much of a choice. So come to Philly, man. I think Philly would be an intriguing spot for a backup big, knowing Joel Embiid's injury history. Not too many starting opportunities out there on the market. Why not go somewhere where all it takes is an Embiid injury and you can get a bunch of minutes? Can we get both brothers? I wish, man. Franz Wagner is an absolute dog. Franz Wagner is an absolute dog. That'll be something. Magic are going to be a good team, man. Magic are going to be a good team with Franz, with Paolo. They obviously traded for Desmond Bane. They got Jalen Suggs. They signed Tyus Jones. Got some good young players. Wendell Carter, Tristan Da Silva. John Isaac still over there. So they're going to be a team to watch out for sure. Their biggest need was shooting, and they brought one of the best shooters in the NBA over from Memphis. So like what I'm seeing there. We're about 10 likes away. We're at 61 likes. 14 likes away. We got a couple more minutes to get there. Can we do it, baby? I'm cracking my drink if we can get to 75 likes in the next couple minutes. We're 13 likes away. Yeah, Mo Wagner did tear his ACL, so that's partly why he's a free agent right now. Imano Sipo? Imano Sipo? I'm hoping I'm saying that right, man. Yeah. On December 21st, he suffered a torn ACL. We'll see when he ends up coming back. Could be ready for the start of the season. Still a good player, though. Still a good player. I think could sign on a 1-year prove-it deal for the minimum and then look to re-up in next offseason. Yeah, you bring up Atlanta as well, Godspeed. Like, Atlanta's looking real good. Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Risache, Jalen Johnson. They bring in Kristaps Porzingis. Excuse me. They bring in Kristaps Porzingis. They still have Onyeka Okongwu. They bring in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They bring in Luke Kennard. So Atlanta's another team that's trying to take advantage of this weakened Eastern Conference and build something that they think can compete in the East. So they should be back in the playoffs 100%. No doubt about it. A Sixers-Hawks round 2 rematch incoming. Give me Atlanta. Give me Atlanta. I want my get back, man. I want my get back. Without Ben Simmons on the roster. Without Tobias Harris on the roster. They're going to be a good team, though. That would be a good series. Fully healthy, though, I'm taking Philly in 5. Fully healthy. Everyone at full strength, 100%. Philly in 5. I take the risk on Mo Wagner. He's still young. Has that dog in him. Yeah, absolutely plays ferociously. He plays with a fire under his ass. I would take the risk, too, for a minimum. In December, season starts in October? He should be pretty much ready to go by then, I would imagine. So why not take the risk on a guy who would be one of the better backup centers in the league if he's healthy? We not passing up no dunks on Atlanta. We want all the smoke. Ugh, I hate that I even have to think about that and relive that moment here on today's stream. Unbelievable. We're 3 likes away from 75. 3 likes away from 75. Can we get there? The longer this goes, the more likely Grimes gets a fair $12 million per. I will agree that the longer Quentin Grimes draws this out, the longer they wait, the less money he's probably going to get, but I don't think it gets down to 12. I think the lowest it goes is 15. Lowest it goes is 15. We don't need Grimes. We have Tracy McGrady. VJ. Hey, man. T-Mac comp for VJ. I'm confident in what it can be for this team. I did like the pick, even if I was an Ace Bailey guy. I think, with his athleticism, if he can just develop his on-ball skills a little bit more and be a consistent three-point shooter, he'll be a really, really dangerous player in this league. But T-Mac, I hope so. I hope so. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. We should get Dame. Well, Dame won't be able to play this season anyways. And you got Maxey. You're fine. But Dame's out for the year with that Achilles. Is Batum available? Paying his wife $1 million. She makes no trouble. Yeah, wanted to take them back to LA. Batum actually re-signed. Batum actually re-signed with the Clippers. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Batum re-signed with the Clippers, so not available. I loved Batum when he was on this team. Just a good player who contributes to winning. He's getting up there in age now, though, for sure. For sure. I want Grimes back from LFX. He'll be back. Grimes will be back. You don't got to worry about that. Just you got to worry about what price. Worry about what price. First super chat of the day, Ray Francia Covington coming in with 637 from Hong Kong. Shout out to Refracia Covington. First super chat of the day. Let me get that up here for you. Really appreciate that. Absolute legend. I'll read that out in just a sec. Really, really appreciate that. Here it is. $50 in Hong Kong currency there. Let's go Sixers and Chat Sports. Love what you guys do. I'm from Philly, living in Hong Kong. And I'm a real one, a real Sixers and Chat Sports fan. Keep up the great work. Your boy, Ray Vaughn. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Living out there in Hong Kong, that's got to be awesome. That's got to be awesome. A real one, a real Sixers fan. You're absolutely a real one. Appreciate you hanging out. And let's hope the Sixers can get something going here. But shout out. Shout out to Ray Vaughn. $5. That's a beer cheers. As I said, we also passed 75 likes. So everyone type real one in the chat. Everyone type real one in the chat for Ray Vaughn. Everyone type real one in the chat. Cheers. That's for Ray Vaughn. This is for passing 75 likes. Yes, sir. LFX leading the chat. Dwight Gangsta. Nuggets are stacked. Yeah, I was talking about it, man. You see this move they just made with Tim Hardaway Jr. I like what Denver's done. And we can take a look, actually, at the moves they've made because it is pretty impressive what they've been able to do. So these are the four moves Denver's made. They obviously bring in Cam Johnson in this big trade with the Brooklyn Nets, sending out Michael Porter Jr. and a 2032 first-round pick to Brooklyn, bringing in Cameron Johnson. I love that fit for them. I think Cam Johnson's better than Michael Porter Jr. Then they get Bruce Brown back. Obviously a big piece of their championship run back a couple of years ago. He'll be back on a one-year deal. And they trade Dario Saric for Jonas Valanciunas. Big upgrade there, even though Dario Saric is a legend. And now this news coming in that they're bringing in Tim Hardaway Jr., which I think is a good signing for the minimum as well. So definitely one of the winners of free agency thus far. Just scouring the internet, seeing if there's any buzz with Philadelphia. 1 year ago today, the Sixers officially agreed to a deal with Paul George. Man. What are the comments on this like? With a former MVP in Embiid, former MVP candidate in George, and perennial All-Star Maxey, we can see the Sixers make it to the second round this year. They didn't even do that. Man, we were so excited. We were so excited. And how it crashed and burned. How it crashed and burned for Philadelphia. I remember that stream, man. We were live for 10 hours waiting for Paul George to sign. And he finally did, but it was not the result we were certainly hoping for. Not the result we were hoping for. All right, I'm curious. So, in the chat right now, today's poll question in the live show, how would you grade the Sixers free agency so far? We got 35% going with a C, 30% going with a B, 15A, 21 D or F. Wow. So let me know down in the comment section. What did you vote for? What would you grade the Sixers free agency so far? And feel free to elaborate on your choice. I would say, I mean, Oubre comes back, Drummond comes back. I'd probably go C, C at the moment, C plus. I like the signing of Trendon Watford, but they got to get Grimes in on a good deal for me to give them a really, really good grade. So let me know y'all's grades down in the comments. How are you feeling about Sixers free agency thus far? Are you a Sixers fan? Lifelong Sixers fan, man. Display limited. I've been a Sixers fan my whole life, man. Sixers fan my whole life. Unfortunately. Alejandro, sign Trey Lyles. Fix this mess. I would love Trey Lyles on this team. He was getting some buzz, I think late last night. Saw a tweet from one of the NBA reporters that Trey Lyles was garnering some interest from contending teams. I would love to bring Trey Lyles in here as a stretch four. It was also a year ago today that Tyrese Maxey signed his extension. Kind of a bargain for him. Most he could have got. Damian Lillard is elated the Bucks released him, allowing him to choose a contender of his choice without sacrificing money. I'll tell you what, Giannis is not elated. Giannis was upset. I can't vote until I see more moves. If we get Mo Wagner and Trey Lyles, I'm giving an A+. Those would be two tremendous moves to round out this front court. Because let's see, under contract right now, how many players do they have under contract? You got Maxey, you got McCain, you got Grimes, you got VJ. You got Paul George, Oubre, Ricky Council, Broom, Edwards, Bona, Drummond, and Bede. What is that, 12? Am I counting that correctly? I believe that's everybody under contract right now. So you have a couple roster spots open. Or I guess I counted Grimes, so really it's 11. So you have a couple roster spots open. Well, Hunter Salas is on a two-way, so he doesn't count against the actual roster. He's on a two-way. So he doesn't count against the, I think it's what, 15? 15 max. So you got a couple spots. You imagine Kyle Lowry is probably going to be one of those. You could trade Drummond to open up a spot. So that is kind of where we're at right now. Still a couple spots to fill with going to be minimum guys. So, as you mentioned, Godspeed, Mo Wagner, Trey Lyles, that'd be great. Beating the Sixers will be healthy this year and start, but we still need help. Man, I hope they'll be healthy. I hope so. You can only pray. You can only pray that they'll end up finally being healthy. We'll only be able to do one-year deals after we sign Grimes. Yeah, it'll only be 1 year vet mins. Maybe 1-1 with player options, but not going to be anything crazy. But these signings are still so important. Still so important, even at the back of the roster. 66, the OSU. More minutes for Adem Bona. He definitely will get a good amount of run this year. He showed at the end of last season that he deserves minutes and he deserves to be on the floor. And I think that's why the Sixers are comfortable, and according to reports, they've been looking to trade away Andre Drummond. Almanza was a nice prospect. He can make the team. Oh, I didn't realize that about Almanza. I didn't see that. I hadn't seen that. But a promising young player for sure. He'll be on the Summer League roster, I believe. It was weird because I didn't see Milicic on the Summer roster. Yeah, Almanza is on the Summer League roster. I don't know why Milicic isn't on the Summer League roster. I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure. Unless they never actually officially signed him. Tennessee. Display lemonade. We need full rebuild. Trade our aging superstars. I think if they're bad again this season, we will see that. We will see that happen. Oh, we got injured. Right, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, I think we will see a full-on rebuild next offseason if this team is bad once again. If the Sixers miss the playoffs again, at least one of Embiid or Paul George is probably gone. Maybe even both. I have an indescribable hate for Paul George. Man, look, I get it, but oh! Ray Vaughn! Are you kidding me? $50 super chat. I think that's actually like 60 because we were at about $6. So that's like 65. Are you kidding me, Ray Vaughn? Come on, man. Fire me up. That's awesome. Ray Vaughn from Hong Kong. Let's go, dude. Everyone type Ray Vaughn in the chat. Real one, man. His second super chat of the day. This one's $50. Over $50 in U.S. currency. That's a W dono right there, baby. Is Trey still here? Trey said if we had a 50, he wanted to do a beer bong race. So I don't know where he's at, but yeah. Let's go, man. Sorry, that was supposed to be 50 USD so you can do that shot. It's going to be a little more than a shot, my brother. Going to be a little more than a shot. Look, spamming Ray down in the comments. I just changed back to the other one. I hate when it does this. Oh, yeah, I guess I can just do that. So he says, sorry, that was supposed to be 50 so you could do that shot. It's a 12-hour difference between Hong Kong and Philly. Wow. So it's 4 a.m.? Or I guess 5 a.m. It's 5 in Philly. It's 5 a.m. for you right now? Oh, my God. Shout out to a real one. Rocking it with us at 5 a.m. local time. That is insane. You guys have a shot, and I'm going to sleep after you guys have your drink. Cheers. Ray Vaughn, the real one. Ray Vaughn, the real one, baby. Keep those Rays going in the chat. Keep those Rays going in the chat, man. Ray Vaughn, really appreciate that. You don't even know how far that goes. That is just really, really appreciate that, man. Let me get Trace in here. I'll give you the shot regardless because you sent over the 20. So let me give you that. All right, Trace is coming. Trace is coming. Trace is coming, baby. Let's go, man. Biggest super chat we've had in quite a long time here on the channel. I'm gonna remember this one for a while, Ray. I'm gonna remember this one for a while, Ray. Let me give you this shot of Tito's. That is just awesome stuff. We love you. All right, so here's the vodka. Woo! Ooh. Fires you up right there. Fires you up right there. All right, and then we're doing this beer bong shotgun race in just a minute when Trace is ready. But man, what an absolute legend! I saw that red pop up. I was like, no way, no way, Ray. Gotta love it, man. Your opinion on Philly GOAT Robert Covington, man. What a fun player to watch back in the day. Just a menace on the defensive end of the floor. Really good 3-point shooter. He was really, your prototypical 3-and-D player before 3-and-D players were super popular in the NBA. I loved him as a player, man. Very fun to watch. A lot of fun players that came out of the process era. A lot of players that actually ended up making a pretty good impact on other teams. So I was definitely a big fan of Robert Covington. Had some success after Philadelphia as well with Minnesota, I believe, is where he went directly after. Yeah, Minnesota, then bounced around a little bit. Spent some time with the Clippers, of course, came back to Philly to end his career. But I mean, man, had some good years. Had some good years, so. Huh? Yes, sir. Ray Vaughn sent in this. It ended up being like 65 USD. So let's get it cracking, baby. You ready? You ready? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got the Freedom Funnel on deck.
What up, Ray?
Ray. I got my shotgun tool. So he's in Hong Kong. It's 5 a.m. right now in Hong Kong. Ray is an absolute animal. I think his day is ending now. He said, yeah, going to sleep after you guys have your drinks. So, all right, let me make sure I remember how to do this. So it's just like, whoo. Woo! You got it on me. Y'all didn't see nothing? All right. Damn. It's getting wet and wild. It's fine. Cheers to Ray, man. Let me get this going. All right, cheers, man. Let's get it going. Thank you for the 50. Let's go. Woo! Ah. Ray! Come on, man. Woo! Ray! Appreciate you, buddy. Another one, you're back? Hey, another 50. Trey says he's back. Man. I got it on the monitor. Uh-oh. Cheers, y'all. Move this over here. Absolute legend. Legendary stuff here on day 2 of free agency. So I'm over here spraying. This is what we do. We have a good time. Let me top this off. Dang. This shotgun tool is deceiving. Deceiving. Uh-oh. We got a Knicks fan in the chat. Boo! Boo! Knicks fan. How does that make any sense? How does it make it? Brooklyn Knicks fan? Are you a Knicks? Are you a Knicks or are you a Nets fan, man? Pick one. Pick one. If you're from Brooklyn, you should be a Nets fan. Type those boos. Boo this man in the chat right now. I'm not going to kick him, but I'm not going to ban him. Be happy Yabu is on a contending team. Hey, just wait till next year. We're going to be a contending team too. Don't play with us. Don't play with us. Y'all are going to like Yabusele, though, for real. Y'all are going to love Yabusele. I'm upset he ended up with y'all. Y'all are really going to like Yabusele. Winning player. I am excited to see him hopefully play some playoff basketball, but I wish it was with the Sixers, not the Knicks. Woo! All right. Yabu gives it his all, that's for sure. Let's see, any more moves? Drew Eubanks getting waived by the Clippers, plans to sign with the Kings on a one-year deal. That's it, man. Pretty slow. Pretty slow, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. We are at 96 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? We're 4 likes away. 4 likes away. Can we get there? And again, shout out to Ray Vaughn, man. I don't know if you're still here. I know you said you were going to sleep. So over there in Hong Kong, 5 a.m. watching the show and donating $70 in total. That is legendary stuff. Speaking of, this is what the Super Chat menu today looks like. If you send in a Super Chat, which Ray Vaughn has done twice today, you get a shout out. Every $5 you send in is a beer cheers. So I'll cheers you, give you a sip of the Happy Dad. $10 is a wheel spin. Got some fun options on a wheel that I'll spin for you. It can land on things like beer chug. It can land on add an option to the wheel. So it's up to you. You can add anything you want to the wheel that I have to do within reason, of course. Nothing that's going to get me banned off YouTube. All right, let's keep it PG, at least PG-13. So it can land on some things like that. $10 for a spin, $20 for a shot of vodka. I said if we reached $100 in total today, I would do a shotgun. We are $30 away. We're up to $70 right now. So $30 away from another shotgun. Plus, y'all just saw me and Trace do a beer bong shotgun together. He said if we got another $50 super chat, he would do it again. So he'll come back on here and we'll race again. We'll run it back. We'll run it back. Nets suck. Philly is better. You got Brooklyn in your name, dog. I know you're a Knicks fan, but you got Brooklyn in your name. I know you're probably just from Brooklyn, but. Thanks, Morey. Is it another Knicks fan in here? Is it another Knicks fan in here? I love Dario, but don't you think Valanciunas is a way better piece? Why'd the Kings do that? Kings were trying to clear up some salary. Valanciunas is definitely better at this point in their careers. You guessed it. Man, why don't y'all go watch Marsh? Did Marsh sign off? Go watch Marshall Green on Knicks Now by Chat Sports. Whoa. No, I love it. Bring it all. Bring it all. Bring it all. We love the talk. We love the trash talk. Yeah, Valanciunas is definitely a better piece. I think they just wanted to save some money. Because they didn't get any picks. They didn't get any picks. Yabu is today's Dennis Rodman. I wouldn't go that far. I was there. I came by to say hi. What's going on, JJ? What's going on, JJ? Appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Even if you're a Knicks fan, like, always showing love to people who are tuning into the stream. So, even though you're a Knicks fan, man, I appreciate you. I know we lost Yabu. Keep up the good work. I've been loving the videos and live streams. I appreciate you, ZMS, BS in the chat. That's what I try to do, man. You know, as a Sixers fan, for fellow Sixers fans, just try to make the best content I can, right? And especially like in these moments, getting to go live, getting to talk with y'all in real time. Just trying to put out the best content I can. That's really what it is for a team that I followed my whole life. For a team that I know y'all follow, we're all diehards out here. So yeah, it's a good point here from Brooklyn Knicks fan, a basketball fan regardless, right? And that's what I'm a basketball fan as well. I'm a Sixers fan, but I'm a basketball fan. So I know the Nets have a team, but I'm saying why aren't you? I was just messing with you for not being a Nets fan. Um, but yeah, for sure. Yabu bad rebounder and a cone on defense. Definitely a not a great defender. Definitely not a great defender. I will say though, for the Sixers last year, Yabusele had to play a lot of small ball center. I think his role is more of a natural power forward, right? So he should be able to play that for the Knicks, and I think that's more of his natural role. I get ridiculed in Brooklyn. LOL, don't care though. Hey, but that's what we love though. That's how you know you're making people mad because they're jealous. Those Nets fans are jealous of the Knicks because the Nets are just a dumpster fire. Seems like they're always rebuilding since they had those Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden years. You got something to brag about right now if you're a Knicks fan, but Sixers are coming back. One bad year, we're coming back. The Detroit Pistons are in pursuit of Duncan Robinson. Oh. Player goes off the board that I would have loved for the 76ers. We talked about him a little bit yesterday. We talked about him on the show. This is definitely a bit unfortunate. Larry Nance Jr. signing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He'll be returning to Cleveland. God. Would have loved Larry Nance in Philadelphia. But he'll be headed back to Cleveland. That's tough. That's tough. I like his skill set. I think he could have done some good things with Philadelphia, but he was with Cleveland earlier in his career. Spent some time with the Hawks. Now back to Cleveland. Maybe Yabu comes back next season. You know what? It's funny because I saw that his deal with the Knicks, it's 2 years, but it's a player option on the second year, so he could decline, which I imagine he will to try and get more money. But Sixers won't have. I mean, they might have an exception if they don't use it this year. They could have an exception to try to bring him in. But he'll probably want more money. Having Kelly Oubre starting 4 doesn't feel great. Yeah, it's not great, but it's probably what's going to be happening. Sixers have some nice young pieces. If they can stay healthy, they can make some noise. That's a big if. Yeah, it's a big if for Philadelphia, staying healthy. Big if. That's what it always is with Philadelphia, is can they stay healthy? For Lillard, this year the Bucks will pay him roughly $22.5 million per season for the next 5 years, largest wave and stretch in NBA history. That is correct. The Bucks are paying Damian Lillard $22.5 million for the next 5 years to not play for their roster. Absolutely insane. In this era of the NBA, with the way the aprons are set up and the cap space and all that, to be paying a guy $22.5 million to not be on your roster, that's a lot, man. That's going to really hinder your ability to build a competent team, in my opinion. Excuse me. Oh, Wondercat. Who's your relative? Wondercat says I have a relative that played for the Celtics and Kings when the Kings were the Cincinnati Royals. This might be some elite ball knowledge. This is obviously a while ago when the Kings were in Cincinnati, but if you don't mind, you want to drop the name. You don't have to if you don't want to, of course, but that's pretty dope. Should the Sixers waive Paul George or Embiid? Nah, man. Nah. That's too much money to have to stretch like the Bucks just did. I don't think many teams will be doing what Milwaukee just did. That's a lot of money. Nance is from Cleveland. His dad used to play for Cleveland. Yeah, Larry Nance's father, Larry Nance, because he's Larry Nance Jr., used to play for Cleveland, was really, really good. Very good player. Very, very good player. Derek Jones Jr. I'm seeing from from Display Lemonade. I don't think is he a free agent? I thought he was still in the Clippers. Just double check that here. No, he's under contract for the Clippers. Now you could try to trade for him, but I don't know why LA would want to trade him away. Didn't we use a stretch on Elton Brand or someone? I'm not sure. Is Quentin Grimes signed yet? Quentin Grimes is not signed yet. Quentin Grimes is still out there. Still out there. We do need Yabusele to share a bench. I will say for the Knicks, it's a good signing. I like that signing for the Knicks for sure. Kessler Edwards shot 40% from 3 last year. Hey, look, if you're talking on a minimum, that's totally fine with me. Another forward that can come in and hopefully give you some decent minutes. No one you're signing now is going to have a huge impact. Now, he didn't play much for Dallas. Just 4 points per game. Uh, 40 games played, 15 minutes a game. Shot 40% from 3, shot 38% the year before with Sacramento, but I mean, doesn't play a whole lot for a reason. But talking about back into the rotation, guys. Hey, we are approaching 23,000 subscribers right here on 76ers now. We are only 34 subs away. I know there are 34 of y'all that are hanging out right now enjoying the show that are not subscribed. I really encourage you to hit that sub button. I promise you it's going to be the best Sixers coverage you can find right here on YouTube. You will not regret it. From a lifelong Sixers fan for lifelong Sixers fans. Been running this channel for about a year now. And had a lot of fun doing it and plan on keep on doing it. So if you're looking for Sixers coverage every single day in a busy off season, and as we approach the season as well, all year round, man, hit that sub button, lock us in, live shows like this, videos every single day. Trying to hit 23K here today. Again, just 34 people away from hitting that goal. If we get there today, that would be legendary. That would be absolutely legendary. All right, it really slowed down here. I don't know if we showed the Drew Eubanks move. I know I talked about it. Drew Eubanks was released by the Clippers. They, of course, signed Brook Lopez. So no need for Eubanks there. And then Sacramento signs him after trading away Jonas Valanciunas for Dario Saric. The legendary Rappers brings up Miles Turner. The Sixers would never have the money for it, and Miles Turner also already signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. So Miles Turner is no longer a free agent. Sixers should sign Precious Achiuwa. He would fit well there. Yeah, he's a name I actually brought up on my free agent targets video. Was Precious Achiuwa as another 4 or 5 hybrid option. I wouldn't mind that at all. Another body to have, can defend the rim, stretch the floor a tiny bit. Kessler's a great defender as well. I think he could be a steal. Could be a steal for sure, but again, a reason he hasn't gotten a whole lot of run in his 4-year, 1 to 5-year NBA career now. He's been around for a minute all of a sudden. Nets, Kings, Mavericks. Career 36% 3-point shooter. The Bol Glazer is back. The card kid. Hey, I'll take Bol. I've said it again all yesterday, man. I'll take Bol, man. I really don't mind it. on a minimum contract. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of him, but shoot. Why not? Turns the ball over too much for Achua. Rebounding is good. Sixers need some more rebounding. No doubt about that. So you will live with that all day. It's a vet min for Larry Nance. I would have given Larry Nance a minimum, but Sixers should aim for a team. Go for New York and get Jalen Brunson. Tripping. Can't get Jalen Brunson. How much money do the Sixers have left? So they're well over the salary cap already as it is. They have about, it depends what the actual contracts of VJ Edgecombe and Janai Broom come into. But they have about $20 million under the second apron. So they have no actual salary cap space, but they have about $20-ish million under the second apron. Which you obviously want to stay under the second apron heading into next year. So we'll see how much money they end up signing Quentin Grimes for, but it's going to push them right up against that second apron with still a few roster spots to fill. A lot of great free agent power forward options. Maybe better look on the trade market or international market. I could see the Sixers maybe looking for an international option. They obviously went after Guerschon Yabusele last year. No sleep till bowl. We're not doing that again, man. We did no sleep till PG last year. We were live until like 2 a.m. Eastern until Paul George finally signed. And it didn't turn out well. So why would I do it again? It didn't work out. It's obviously bad luck. It's obviously bad luck. Hit that sub button, baby. 33 subs away from 23K. Let's do it for Jimmy Butler, number 23. Number 23. An epic stream for a mediocre season. That was an awesome stream. And it really did set up just a bunch of disappointment, man. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. Still sitting here waiting for a move to happen. Really slowing down, man. Really slowing down. Jabari Walker is useful. We can take a look at some of the top guys available. Now, some of these guys, Sixers can't really afford. But just for y'all to know who the top guys still out there on the open market are, you have Jonathan Kuminga, restricted free agent of the Warriors. We'll see if he ends up going back to Golden State or if they sign and trade him somewhere. Josh Giddey, also restricted. I imagine he'll be back with the Chicago Bulls on a deal around $30 million a year. He's looking for a bag. DeAndre Ayton was bought out by the Portland Trailblazers. I expect him to sign with the Lakers once he clears waivers tomorrow, so he can't sign anywhere as of yet. Got Quentin Grimes there, of course. We've talked about it. I'm hoping the Sixers can sign him for somewhere in the $15 to $18 million range. I don't think he needs to get up to 20. There's not a lot of teams that can really offer him money. The Brooklyn Nets, Cam Thomas, also a restricted free agent for them. A lot of these top guys, you'll notice, are restricted free agents. A lot of times they can take a little bit longer to sign than some of your unrestricted free agents. Al Horford, drawing a lot of buzz from the Golden State Warriors, so he has not signed there as of yet. He's unrestricted. Theoretically, he could be a good fit for Philadelphia, but we know what happened with Al Horford and his first stint in Philadelphia. Chris Paul, unrestricted free agent as well. I mean, if the Sixers are just going to bring Kyle Lowry back, I'd rather have Chris Paul. Still a good floor general. Still can get things done as a solid backup point guard in today's NBA. Spurs obviously have a bunch of guards, don't really need him back. Damian Lillard, of course, was waived and had his contract stretched by the Milwaukee Bucks. He's not going to play this year. Has a torn Achilles, but could sign somewhere with a team who's looking to maybe sign him to a 2-year deal and get him under contract before next season. Malcolm Brogdon's out there as a free agent. He's very injury prone though, and a good player when he is healthy. So maybe the Sixers could take a flyer on him instead of Kyle Lowry. I would like Malcolm Brogdon over Lowry for sure. Mo Wagner's a name that multiple people have brought up today in the live chat. Tours ACL back in December, but should be ready to go, you'd think, by the start of the season. And a very, very good backup center who could be looking for a sort of a 1-year prove-it deal to get his footing back and get a bigger contract next offseason. Trey Mann, unrestricted, not going to be going back to Charlotte. He was restricted. They rescinded his qualifying offer, making him unrestricted. Very good scorer and a fun player to watch. Kind of a throwback style player. Wears those super long, baggy shorts. But I don't think I fit for Philadelphia. I don't need Russell Westbrook on this team. I'll tell you that much. There was some links between Russ and the Knicks. We'll see how true that ends up being. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Larry Nance did end up signing, so they are no longer free agents. Tim Hardaway Jr. went to the the Denver Nuggets. And then Larry Nance ended up going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Spencer Dinwiddie's an unrestricted free agent still. I would take him over Kyle Lowry. Chris Boucher, Amir Coffey, two guys that I mentioned in my free agent targets video for players you could sign for the minimum that could help you out. Chris Boucher, a forward center hybrid, gives you some positional flexibility. He can shoot the three a little bit. Not going to give you too much, but as a depth piece, I think a good option. Same with Amir Coffey, really just a depth piece, but someone who has shown some decent skills offensively as a wing, not a great defender. Duncan Robinson is a free agent now, got released by the Miami Heat. Certainly something to think about as a elite three-point shooter, of course. Had some good years in Miami, had some down years as well, though. Gary Payton, a free agent, sort of a guard who plays like a center. At his size, he's a great rebounder, a great shot blocker, not a very good three-point shooter, though, but he's had some meaningful minutes and meaningful games over his career for the Golden State Warriors. DeAnthony Melton's a free agent, of course, a former Sixer who has really fallen off since his days in Philadelphia when they traded for him from the Memphis Grizzlies. Had that back injury to end his career, or end his time with Philadelphia, I should say, and then ended up going to Golden State. Got out to a good start this past season. Unfortunately, tore his ACL as well at the start of the year after he started off strong. He's a free agent, though. What does he have left in the tank from a health perspective? Certainly could be a player that could be had for the vet min as well. Rounding out our list here. Ben Simmons, I'm good. I don't need Ben Simmons on this team. I know some people were talking about that during day one of free agency, but I do not need Ben Simmons back on this roster. Dante Exum could be an interesting vet min option as well. Some good minutes for the Dallas Mavericks. Former high draft pick many years ago who has carved out a nice decent career for himself as a playmaking guard. Cody Martin, brother of Caleb Martin, are very similar players. He was just released by the Phoenix Suns. Another wing option, although I like Caleb better, and Caleb was a little bit disappointing for Philadelphia before he was shipped off to Dallas. Trey Lyles is a guy I think is too low on this list. Sam Brown putting this list together. You're underrating Trey Lyles, my man. A good stretch four as Bud Clementoni. Hope I said that right, Bud. Bringing up Trey Lyles. I think it'll be a good stretch four option. Someone to add a different skill set to your forwards because you signed, obviously, Trendon Watford. He's not much of a three-point shooter, at least not consistent enough. And then Jackson Hayes, also an unrestricted free agent. An athletic center who I just don't think is very skilled at the game of basketball, honestly, at this point. So, would I rather have him than Drummond? I'd honestly probably rather have Drummond than Jackson Hayes. So, not someone I'll really be looking at to bring in for Philadelphia. But we just went through a bunch of names, a bunch of the guys that are currently available on the free agent market. So what I want you all to do right now in the chat, get down in the comment section. Let me know somebody that you want the Sixers to sign. One of those guys that we showed, could be someone else that we didn't show. You let me know. CB the one. Any buzz? Man, no buzz right now. Very, very quiet time as we approach 6 o'clock Eastern. We had a couple moves like Larry Nance going to Cleveland, Tim Hardaway Jr. going to Denver. But I haven't heard anything on Grimes, man. So still just kind of waiting in limbo. In limbo. I'd rather, this is crazy. Xavier Jones in the chat. I'd rather have my dead grandmother than Kyle Lowry. Oh, I feel bad for hating on Kyle Lowry so much because he's a Hall of Famer, a legendary player. Obviously, Villanova from Philly, but got to give it up, bro. Hang it up. Put the fries in the bag, if you know what I'm saying, man. Just be a coach. Just be a coach. Let the Sixers use that roster spot on someone else. Godspeed. Mo Wagner, Precious Achua, Trey Lyles. Give me one of those three. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I pray we get Grimes. We will get Grimes. Don't be worried about signing Grimes. He will sign. It's just a matter of when and how much money. If VJ was such a good pick, then why do we need Grimes? That's a fair question. Look, VJ, as good of a pick as I think he was, he's not like 100% going to be great right away, you know? Oh, sorry, Wondercat. I've answered your question in my relative twice. I haven't heard you talk about it. Arnie Rison, a Hall of Famer, even won a couple championships. Some old school history. Arnie Rison. My fault. I didn't see you comment that. Yeah, basketball Hall of Famer. 6'9" center. Ohio State. Led them to 2 straight Final Fours. Look at that. That's awesome. That's so sick. That's so cool. That's dope. But yeah, I was saying like a rookie is still a rookie, right? So you can't just totally depend on someone like VJ to do it right away. And I also think Grimes can play a little bit of the 3 with VJ Edgecombe. So I like their skill sets together. You just want talented players in the roster, man. What can we get? We can get what Grimes brings from Cody Martin. No, you can't. Cody Martin is not nearly the same offensive player Quentin Grimes is. Not even close. Not even close. I'm not standing for this Quentin Grimes disrespect. He's a good player. Is he worth 20 to 25 million? Probably not. No, but he's still a good player, and he's better than someone like Cody Martin. Tell you that much. Tell you that much. Man, I'm just not hearing anything about Philadelphia. Couple good moves for Cleveland, man. Adding Larry Nance and Lonzo Ball. I like that. Sign Michael Beasley. Man, what year is it, man? What year is it, man? Did you mean Malik Beasley? Malik Beasley is in some gambling trouble. So he's not signing anywhere right now. If you're really talking about Michael Beasley, man, he gotta be 40. He gotta be at least 40 already. Dang, he's only 36? That's crazy. He's not coming back to the NBA, though. He's not coming back to the NBA. I'm surprised you said our family's last name right. Most people don't. Props. Hey, appreciate it. I'm usually not that good with that stuff. I'm gonna be honest, but no, I try. I try. Damian Lillard. The thing with Damian Lillard isn't gonna play this season though. Dame's not gonna play this year. Torn Achilles. So it doesn't make an impact. Yusufu Diallo bringing up Ben Simmons, man. No, bro. I'm out on Ben. I do not want Ben Simmons back on this team, man. I get it. I get the idea that he'd be a good defender and a good playmaker at that forward spot, but not in Philadelphia. Not in Philadelphia. No. No lie, Michael Beasley might be a good pickup. He could probably still hoop. You know what's crazy is like I watch a lot of NBA content on YouTube and watch a lot of NBA stuff on social media. A lot of NBA players, former NBA players, have said that Michael Beasley is like one of the most talented NBA players they've ever seen. One of the most talented ISO one-on-one scorers ever. Just, didn't really get the opportunity in the NBA, and like the NBA is a whole different game. So he was a hooper, man. He was a hooper. He could score the best of them, man. Like it was nothing, effortless. He could probably beat a lot of people one-on-one in today's NBA still. Why would we want Ben back from Peter Thurmond? People are just throwing out the idea because Sixers could use another forward that can defend and that can pass, and so people are like, oh, Ben Simmons. I don't want him back. I don't want him back. We have 70 M's tied into our shooting guard position. Maxey, 37. VJ, 11. 20 mil to Grimes, possibly. I mean, Maxey's your one. But I see what you're saying. Like, you have a lot of money tied up into the guards. But I think Maxey, VJ, and Grimes can all play together. Ben can't defend anymore. That Beck is cooked. Yeah, that's the other thing. Ben is not the defender that a lot of y'all think he is. I'll give Ben his props. Back in the day, I mean, runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year. Ben was a really, really good defender. He's not that anymore. He's had too many back injuries. He's cooked. Maxey's in a 1. He's an undersized 2. Yeah, look. At the end of the day, positions are kind of meaningless. You have guys out there and you give them a role. They have to have a position, right? They have to be labeled as something. Is he a natural point guard? Not really. He's not like a true distributor of the ball. Has gotten a lot better in that regard. Over 6 assists a game last season. I agree. I think his best role is off ball. Still can have the ball in his hands a lot, but playing next to a true distributor point guard. But I think he does a fine enough job, and he's Philadelphia's point guard. So, Julius Randle might be the guy here. He re-signed with Minnesota. Sixers wouldn't have had the money from him anyways. Ben back in Philly would be so funny. I'm sure as a Knicks fan, you'd be laughing your ass off if you saw the Sixers re-sign Ben Simmons. I'm sure you'd be laughing your ass off. Man. Well, no, I mean, all right. Raheem in the chat talking about Michael Beasley. Look, I know he had a lot going on and probably didn't get a fair shot. But if you're talking about giving him a chance in the NBA now, we're past that point, man. He's 36. He hasn't played in a little bit. I think he is one of the most misunderstood players of all time. And again, like when you talk to a lot of NBA guys, they'll say he is so talented, man. Like he could wake up out of his sleep and drop 40 on you, man. Like when it comes to talent, there's not a lot of guys better than Michael Beasley. But it's 2025. I don't know. We shouldn't be talking about signing Michael Beasley. We're way past that point, man. Not even talking about holding him to his past or whatever. Like, he hasn't played in the NBA in years. But definitely one of the more underrated, just pure hoopers of all time. And that's the best way I can describe him. Just a pure hooper. Zach, I want Quentin Grimes and Chris Boucher. I like Chris Boucher for sure. broke back Ben and broke back Melton. Yeah, a lot of back issues in Philadelphia. I just looked at the donation. Dude lost 500, meant to put down 50. Nah, that's in the Hong Kong currency. It's $500 in the Hong Kong currency, but it's $50 USD. Not only, still a lot of money to donate to the show, of course, but it does translate to about $50 USD. So he didn't donate 500. That would have been wild. Might as well talk about signing Sebastian Telfair if you're gonna bring up Michael Beasley. Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about Michael Beasley. Crazy. Crazy. When was the last time he played in the NBA? Because he's 36 right now, which is younger than I thought. He hasn't played since 2018-19, man. Hasn't played since 2018-19. No one's signing him, man. No one's signing Michael Beasley. Get out of here with that. That's funny. What do you think are the team needs right now? Well, assuming they trade Andre Drummond, which it looks like they're going to do, I would like to add another big man, but somebody who has 4-5 flexibility, right? Someone that can play the 4 a little bit, play the 5 a little bit, fill a couple of needs for you there. Someone who can rebound the ball first and foremost and play some good defense. I'm looking at Chris Boucher, who could space the floor a little bit. Precious Achiuwa. I wanted Larry Nance. He's off the table. Mo Wagner would be a great option as well that some people have brought up. So another big there. And then I think another wing as well. Another true wing. Not a lot of great options at this point, honestly. But, someone like an Amir Coffey. I would have liked a Taurean Prince. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Hey, Peter Thurman bringing up Bol once again. Bol, why not, man? Why not? Can you finally get that potential out of Bol? Shaq said that Victor Wembanyama and Bol were the same player. Wemby just wants it more. I don't believe that, but low-key weird. We're all waiting for a dude that didn't even start for the bad Knicks and didn't start for the Mavs, a backup historically. Look. He's a better player, I think, than what he was when he was a younger player on the Knicks and on the Mavericks. And look, is he the player that he was the last few games of the year for Philly when he's putting up over 22 points a game? Probably not. But you have to imagine that can translate into a smaller role because a lot of times what'll happen at the end of the year is players will get opportunities and they'll put up really good numbers, but they won't be efficient when they're putting up those numbers. Quentin Grimes was efficient putting up numbers as a number one option when every other player on the opposing team knows everyone is hurt for the Sixers. It's only Quentin Grimes, right? So that's why I have confidence in what he can do. That's why I think, somewhere in the $15 to $18 million range makes a lot of sense. He can be your starting shooting guard. He can put up, maybe not 20 a game, but put up 15, 16, 17 points a game. Shoot 38% from 3, 50% from the field. He showed the ability to attack the basket. A lot of guys just aren't given the opportunity to show their true skill set for a lot of teams because they have to play a role. They're limited to a certain role, right? There's so many players in the NBA that if they're given a bigger role, could be better than what they've shown. Then he needs to sign. He's acting like he's the man. I agree 15 to 18 is fair. And I can agree with that, Kevin. I can agree with that. I think 15 to 18 is fair as well. I think he's a little bit out of pocket asking for 20 million or 25 million. So yeah, I can agree with you there for sure. I can agree with you there for sure. Chris Boucher. Get it done, Sixers. Get it done. All right, we are 31 subs away from 23K. Can we get there? Can we get there today? 225 people hanging out, 128 likes, $70 in super chats, and we are 31 subs away from 23K. Sixers content every single day, live shows like this. I want the show to be very interactive, right? That's the whole goal here, right? To involve y'all, to make it interactive. We're all one community here, right? It's not just me talking to y'all, just spitting whatever I want to spit to y'all. I want you guys to have a voice as well, and to have your opinions and to be a part of the show. So if that sounds intriguing to you, that sounds interesting, year-round Sixers news, rumors, analysis, a whole lot more, hit that sub button. Lock us in. And join the family, man. Join the family. We're almost at 23,000 subscribers. I was gone for like 30 minutes. What happened? I kid you not, the card kid, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. There has not been a signing in a while. Absolutely crazy. I want to try to hit 23K, though, before we hop on out of here. If you're not subscribed, hit that sub button, baby. We're so close. I'm going to shotgun a beer if we hit that number today, man. We're so close. William Bucher. I recognize that name. Maybe it's Butcher. I'm sorry. I'm not sure which one. I'm going to go William Bucher. It's going to be Achua or Boucher. Positional needs plus ties to Nick Nurse from Toronto. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Those ties to Nick Nurse makes a lot of sense. It's like they all stopped on purpose. Yeah, so we got like a decent wave of guys once we got like an hour in yesterday. And then there were some moves earlier in the day. But, man, it's really, really slowed down right now. I think the problem is there's a lot of restricted free agents that are still out there. So a lot of these restricted guys are holding up the market a little bit as teams wait to see what these RFAs do, man. Do their teams match the offers that other teams are throwing at them or not? Sixers never do anything fun. They signed Paul George last year. Even though it didn't work out, that was fun. So you can't say they never do anything fun. They signed Paul George last year. That was fun. Philadelphia's getting a WNBA team as well, man. I don't know how many of you guys in the chat right now live in Philadelphia or in the Philadelphia area. Our offices are here in Dallas, Texas, so I can't really make it out to Sixers games or the eventual WNBA games in Philadelphia, but pretty cool that they're bringing a WNBA team to Philly. Y'all excited for that? Should be cool, man. WNBA is starting to build up some buzz. I like this. Some stat predictions from Zach. Maxey 25 a game, Grimes 17, McCain 15, VJ 10. I could see all that happening for sure. That could be super accurate. People are going to look at McCain's 15 and say he could do better than that. He did more than that last year. He won't have as big of a. I won't say he won't have as big of a role, but there'll be so many other guys. Assuming Paul George is healthy, assuming Embiid is healthy, the numbers will just naturally go down. But I think he will still play a pretty solid role. Jerry McCain not going to be playing in Summer League, then Embiid 0 because he's injured. Had to throw that one in there. Who plays defense? Grimes is a great defender. VJ is a great defender as well. Kevin Turner, it was needed a WNBA team in Philly. Absolutely was needed. Now, it's not coming until 2030, which kind of sucks. I guess they're timing it up with the new stadium that the Sixers are getting. Raheem is still talking about Michael Beasley, dude. None of that matters. You need 15 to 20 minutes out of Beasley. Y'all okay with Drummond? He's been balling year after year. He's been playing overseas. Bro, I can respect you being a Michael Beasley fan, for sure. But, dog, he is not hooping in the NBA again. Man, it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years. $20 super chat coming in. My dad over here in the chat. Making me take a shot. That's crazy. My own dad making me take a shot live on the show. The rules are rules. Rules are rules. $20 super chat. It's slow, so shot time. I think year 2 with Joel and George will be a comeback story. Knicks Sixers Eastern Conference Finals. Hey, I'd love that. I'd love a Knicks Sixers Eastern Conference Finals. That would be electric. I can't get over this Michael Beasley stuff, dude. It's blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. Is this Michael Beasley's burner? I mean, this is unbelievable, baby. He hasn't played since 2019. 2019, man. We're talking about signing Michael Beasley. Is that where this team is at right now? I mean, that's unbelievable. That's hilarious. I think the Sixers would sign me before they sign Michael Beasley. That's hilarious. All right. I got to take a shot for this $20 super chat. Shout out to my dad making me take shots at my job. But, yeah, Knicks Sixers Eastern Conference Finals would be very, very exciting. I could see it happening, too. Get Michael Beasley in Bowl, and we auto-win a chip. Chase, how do you feel about Yabu going to the Knicks? It sucks. He got less money than I thought he would. I get him. Maybe he took less money to go to a contending team. But, of course, he goes to the Knicks, man. It's very annoying. I'm not going to be too mad at Yabusele. Just the situation is unfortunate. Shout out Vodka for the $20 super chat. Woo! Ooh. All right, we're up to $90 now in super chats. I said, if we get to $100 in super chats today, I will shotgun another beer. I've already shotgun one. I will shotgun another one. If we get $10 more, that's all we need. All we need is $10 more, and we reach my goal today of $100 in total super chats. Shout out to the legend, Ray Vaughn, who sent in about $70 of the 90 today. That is just legendary stuff. But $10 away. Think about it. You're paying $10 for a shotgun at my job live on air. That's crazy stuff right there. $10 away. Let's get there before we sign off. Did we just get another signing? Yeah, so we mentioned Duncan Robinson earlier being interested in going to the Detroit Pistons after he was let go by the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson officially signing in a sign-and trade with the Detroit Pistons. 3 years, $48 million for Duncan Robinson in Detroit. Pretty impactful for Philadelphia. Detroit definitely doesn't have any money to sign Quentin Grimes now. Full details. I actually don't mind this for Miami. The Pistons are giving up Simone Fontecchio. So Simone Fontecchio going to Miami for Duncan Robinson. Fontecchio was someone I wanted the Sixers to sign and trade for last season. Didn't end up having a very good year, though, for Detroit after he had a couple of good seasons with the Utah Jazz. I like Fontecchio. I wouldn't have wanted Duncan Robinson, though. As people are pointing out in the chat, like Zach is saying, an absolute traffic cone. Will the Sixers sign anyone else or just Grimes? They'll have to sign a couple other people. They have some roster spots open even after they sign Grimes. So they will at some point need to sign other guys to veteran minimum deals. I'm sure they'll sign Kyle Lowry. I would sign one more big man. So there will be some other signings. And when they make those signings, we will make a video. Even if we're not live, even if it's 10 o'clock at night, like it was last night when I made the video for Trendon Watford. We'll always got you covered. That's why you subscribe, because anytime that a move happens, we make a video. Who? Just role players? Yeah, it'll be role players. It'll be a lot of role players. Somebody like a Precious Achua, a Bol, a Chris Boucher, Amir Coffey. Just role players, man. What's center? Those guys that I just mentioned. Bol, Precious Achua, Chris Boucher, Mo Wagner, a good option at center as well. Sixers don't have any actual cap space. I see the card kid asking about the cap space. So they're about $25 million. They're about $25 million under the second apron. So that is what they're looking like right now. We could have money for Wagner if he signs a minimum. Now he's coming off an ACL injury, so there's a chance that he just signs for a vet min. And then Sixers can give out vet mins. Is an Obi Toppin trade possible? Let me double check how much money he's making. I don't think the Pacers would trade him. They already lost. They already lost Miles Turner, so I don't see why you would need to trade him away. Make it $14 million, so you could technically get there with Oubre and Drummond, but I don't see why the Pacers would want to do that. What would you trade Drummond for? I would trade him for salary cap relief. I'm not going to lie. I would trade Drummond for a second-round pick or two and just move on. Save yourself some money against the second apron. That is valuable to not be so close to that second apron as you head into the season. So I really wouldn't mind doing just salary dump. We need to get someone like Yabu or Edwards again. I'll tell you what, the UDFA, the Sixers signed to a two-way deal. Hunter Salas, a very intriguing option. Someone who was also a former five-star recruit, number 13 player in his class. Talented college player, man. He spent a couple years at Gonzaga, ended up at Wake Forest. So as opposed to Justin Edwards, who was a one and done, Salas was in college for 4 years, but still a young player. He could be interesting. Seeing all these center deals makes Drummond at $5 million for a year not that bad. Man, Drummond I don't think Drummond was very good last year. What about St. Thomas? St. Thomas was an interesting UDFA pickup. He was the USC guy, right? So he was kind of a do-it-all kind of player. The question with him was how consistent can that three-point shot be, and can he play a smaller role? Because he was kind of the go-to guy for his squad. But he's on I believe he got a training camp invite or a summer league invite, so we'll get to watch him hoop in summer league. When should we see a Grimes deal? I'd expect by Friday at the latest. Friday at the latest, I'd expect to see a Grimes deal. They're going to work through it. They're going to see what his market is. They're going to let him test the open market. Salas could be another Ricky Council. I hope he's a little bit better than Ricky Council, man. Ricky Council's been a little bit disappointing. I'm not going to lie. Expecting a little bit more at him. He's just never been able to put it all together fully. Never been able to fully put it all together. Why did Yabu buy a property here? Why wouldn't you wait until you find out where you would want to go, or is it fake? I don't think it's fake. I think he did buy a property in Philly. Maybe he just likes it so much that's where he's going to live in the offseason. Maybe his family wants to live in Philly instead of maybe he knew he was going to go to New York and his family didn't want to live in New York. Maybe they wanted to live in Philly. Maybe he just liked Philly that much. Shame he couldn't come back. I think he would have loved to come back. The NBA money rules, though, the way the cap works now. Yeah, exactly. New York isn't very far, so his family would still be able to go to a bunch of games. He'd probably live in New York during the season, but not very far at all. I'm over Ricky. Talked big stuff. Did nothing last year. I just, he has some physical tools and has flashed at points, but still plays too fast. Still not as good of a defender as I'd want him to be with his athletic upside. After seeing the video of Watford, what are his weaknesses? So, defense is one of Watford's biggest weaknesses. He's a tweener as well, so if he's guarding bigger fives, he can get bullied. If he's guarding smaller fours, he can get blown by at times. He's also a very inconsistent three-point shooter. He had 2 years in the middle of his career where he shot 39% from three on very, very limited attempts, but came back last year and shot just 33%. So he's not a great three-point shooter, not a very good defender. Those are really his biggest weaknesses. He's not great at anything, right? There's a reason he's available for a minimum, but an intriguing skill set as a bigger, kind of tweener forward who can handle the ball a little bit, make some good reads, got a good floater game. So intriguing. What about Kelly Olynyk? I believe he's under contract with the. Man, he's moved so much this year. I'm not gonna lie. He's in the Wizards right now. Or no, the Pelicans. Excuse me. He's under contract with New Orleans, I should say. Watford backup 4, brings energy, excellent passer. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe him. He's an energetic playmaking 4. Who, if that three-point shot comes along, you could be a little bit excited about it. But I wouldn't get overly excited about it. People are saying Adam Bona will be the biggest weakness. Paul Reed 2.0, I disagree. What do you think? Yeah, I think Bona I think could be better than Paul Reed was and is to this day because he has, I think, better defensive instincts. I think he's a better athlete than Paul Reed was. Paul Reed was just not strong enough, never developed the three-point shot that he showed in the G League at times. Got out-rebounded pretty badly against bigger centers. I think Bona can hold his own better. Even though he's still short, his athleticism and his tenacity really allows him to hit the glass hard. Is the Summer League schedule out yet? If so, when do we play? Yeah, the Summer League schedule is out. So for those of you who do not know, the Summer League's roster and schedule was revealed. I can show you the roster on screen right now, actually. So this is the official Summer League roster for Philadelphia. They will play. Let me pull up the schedule. They'll play in the Salt Lake City Summer League once again. They'll play in the Salt Lake City Summer League once again. In Utah, they'll play 3 games there. And then they will play, obviously, in Vegas, as all teams do. So let me pull up the schedule. You can see the roster. No Jared McCain, unfortunately. He was seen practicing with the Summer League team a little bit. Getting some shots up, getting a little bit of work in. Nothing crazy. But you'll see Justin Edwards and Adam Bona, 2 exciting players that are going to be playing in Summer League. I'm excited to watch them play in Summer League. They should dominate in this Summer League circuit for sure. Of course, you have the 2 rookies, VJ Edgecombe and Janai Broom, should also go crazy. So you have a pretty exciting quartet of players right there that you expect to get big minutes in Summer League, especially the rookies. Alex Reese has played on this team this past year in the G League, in and out of the G League. Judah Mintz played last year in Summer League for this team out of Syracuse. He's a very exciting player as well. Of course, Jalen Hood-Schifino has been on a 2-way deal with Philadelphia. Keve Aluma was someone that Sixers fans were hoping they would sign to a 2-way after last Summer League. He can really score the ball. So he'll be back for Summer League. You got Jalen Slauson, Caleb Stone Carrawell. You got Mark Armstrong, Andrew Funk, a bunch of guys. You see some of the UDFAs Sixers picked up. St. Thomas out of USC. Hunter Salas out of Wake Forest is going to be an interesting player. I mentioned a former 5-star recruit, top 13 player in his class. A talented guy. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Can he be the next Justin Edwards UDFA pickup? You need to get that 3-point shot down, but Does a lot of other things well on the basketball floor. Some of their other UFAs in St. Thomas. You got Eisen Almansa in there, Jack Clark, and Stefan Todorovic. Someone's asking, is that Mark Armstrong that went to Villanova? That is Mark Armstrong that went to Villanova. That is correct. Spent some time in the G League for the Nets. So he'll be on the Sixers Summer League squad. What was VJ and Broom's contract? So we don't know the details yet on VJ Edgecombe and Janai Broom's contracts. They did sign contracts. It has been reported. VJ will be somewhere around $11 million. We don't know exactly the amount, but yeah, that will come in around 11 mil. But we'll find the exact details out, I assume, pretty soon. Pretty soon. All right, we're approaching, actually just surpassed 2 hours here on today's live show. Sixers doing absolutely nothing. We are 29 subs away. 29 subs away from 23K, man. Probably not staying live for that much longer as we just sit here and wait for Philadelphia to make a move. Here, I'll make you all a deal. Every sub we pick up until we sign off, I'll give you all beer cheers. Every sub we pick up until we sign off, I'll give you all beer cheers. We are 29 people away from 23K. Subscribe for daily Sixers content, daily Sixers coverage, live shows like this, man, where y'all get to have a voice, y'all get involved, chop it up with y'all. There's a sub. Cheers. If you're a new sub, if you found us in the last couple of days or even going back to the NBA draft, type me in the chat if you're a new subscriber. I'm curious who the new real ones are. Everyone here is a real one. Appreciate that new subscriber. When will the Sixers sign another person, do you think today? I don't think the Sixers sign anybody until they sign Grimes. I think they sign Grimes and then figure it out from there. And I don't think Grimes signs today, to be honest. Charlie Raw, yo, I just sub. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah, there's that sub we picked up. Cheers. 27 subs away. Appreciate you, Charlie. I don't have faith in Broom. Horrible athlete. I understand, man. I am also not a big fan of Janai Broom. He's not an athlete. Not a great defender. Good defender, not great. Not a shooter. Not sure how you can succeed in the NBA if that's the case. I really don't know. Thank you, Charlie, for watching. Appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in to the show. Sixers are broke. We have no money. You can always sign guys to minimum contracts that, sure, they might not make a huge impact, but they'll make a little bit of an impact. They will. They will. 27 subs away. 27 subs away. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Moves have really slowed down, not just for the Sixers, but across the NBA. We had that Duncan Robinson move, and that's really all we've had. Like the last 20 minutes, it feels like. So what we're going to do, I'm going to throw up our Super Chat menu one more time. As a reminder, I said if we reached $100 in total Super Chats on today's show, I would shotgun a beer. We are at $90. We are $10 away from $100 and me having a shotgun another beer. I'm going to throw on a 5-minute timer starting right now. The timer starts. 5 minutes. We're signing off in 5 minutes. Can we get to that $100 goal before we sign off here? Can we get there? It's on y'all. It's on y'all. Until then, let's keep chopping it up for the next five minutes. Duke Holiday. VJ's a triathlete, not a basketball player. He can run and jump really well. Look, his best attribute definitely is athleticism, but he's also a good defender. And he's not just a good defender because of his athleticism, excuse me. He knows how to play defense. He's a smart defender, right? So the offense is still coming along. He shot, still 34% from three. He shot even better on unguarded catch and shoot threes. I think he shot 48% on unguarded catch and shoot threes. So he's not quite as raw offensive as you can think. And I agree with Wondercat. Like, he is a high IQ player, man. So he's not just an athlete. He's more than that. That's why he was the third overall pick, because unlike some of these other guys that are just athletes, he's an athlete who knows how to actually play the game of basketball. Would we sign Grimes or match it somewhere? So I don't think another team is going to really throw Grimes an offer. I think the Sixers are going to end up the Sixers are going to end up signing Grimes to a deal between $15 to $18 million. That's my guess. I don't see another team having the space to give Grimes a big deal. VJ's the next Jason Richardson. Jason Richardson was a hell of a player, man. His son actually just got drafted by the Orlando Magic, Jace Richardson. Also a good player, a good pick for Orlando. Really good shooter. Not the athlete his dad was, but a good shooter despite being short. Like that comp, though, Robbie. Like that comp. Obviously a high flyer. Dunk contest champion? I know he was at least in one. I can't remember if he won it or not. But was definitely in one. All right, we're 2 minutes, 30 seconds into our timer. Again, I said if we get to $100 before the 5-minute mark, I will do my shotgun before we get up on out of here. I will shotgun this Happy Dad, unopened. We need $10 more. We are at $90. We are $10 away. Who's going to be a real one? Send that in. Everyone's a real one regardless for just hanging out. You don't need to send in a super chat to be a real one. Everybody who hangs out, watches, likes, comments, you're all real ones. Really, really appreciate it. I think VJ can be Vince Carter. Man, that is high praise. That is like the absolute best case scenario for him, right? But it's certainly in there when you have that athletic ability. But he's got a lot to clean up before he becomes Vince Carter. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. A minute 30 left. Minute 30 left. Are we going to get that 10-piece? $10, and I'm shotgunning a beer. I watch those highlights. He can dunk the ball very well. Dude, I mean, you won't see very many better highlight dunks than you will out of VJ Edgecombe, man. He's got some highlight reel material. At the very least, he'll be a very fun player to watch this year. But I think he can make an impact this season. I really, really do. Not far off my come from is Zach LaVine, but higher IQ, better defense, so Vince Carter isn't crazy. Yeah, so LaVine turned into a really good self-creator and creating his own shots off the dribble, and a very, very good three-point shooter. He's obviously been in the three-point contest before. So VJ has a ways to go before he becomes that kind of player offensively. But similar athleticism for sure. I feel like Paul George will be his mentor. Look, Paul George will provide value as a mentor for these young guys. Even if he's not the same player anymore that he once was. He was an MVP level player, man. He's played basketball for a long time. He can definitely instill some confidence and some IQ and leadership and teach these young guys how to play ball, man, even if he doesn't do it at the highest of levels anymore. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. $10, and I'm doing a shotgun before we hop on out of here as we will reach $100. At the buzzer! At the buzzer! Charlie Ra! $10 at the buzzer to push us over 100 on the day. Are you kidding me? Everyone spam Charlie right now in the chat. Spam Charlie right now in the chat. Charlie, 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 Charlie. Let's go. Out of nowhere, out of left field. Coming in. Getting us over $100. We surpassed what we got yesterday, which is absolutely electric. Charlie, man. There you go. Let's go, Sixers. Charlie, really appreciate you. The buzzer beater coming in just at the last second as the Super Chat shot clock was winding down. So we'll do this shot, and then we'll hop on out of here. VJ can also develop into the next Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday has some better point guard skills than I think VJ does. And also Drew Holiday, a very good post player. I don't really see that post game in VJ's game right now. But very similar from a defensive end of the floor. I don't hate that, Robbie. Yeah, buzzer beater. Levine at a similar age had the same weaknesses. That is a good point. Yeah. You're talking about them coming out of college. Yeah, Levine certainly was a raw offensive player. Really developed that aspect of his game. So, there's instances of players that are like VJ Edgecombe developing on that end of the floor. And he's obviously turned into a very good player. And look, if you give Zach LaVine VJ Edgecombe's defense, he's an All-NBA player. Like, he's a very, very good player. So where did that beer go? There it is. All right, it's shotgun time. Shotgun time for Charlie, then we'll hop on out of here. I appreciate you getting us to $100.07. Also, a big shout out to Ray Vaughn, who was just a legend today, sending in $70 in total. And I appreciate everybody who's watched the show, liked the show, commented, just hung out with us over these last 2 days. I don't think we'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live on our Eagles channel, actually. So for those of you who don't know, we also, Chase Sr. and I, run a Philadelphia Eagles channel as well. Eagles Now by Chat Sports, if you want to look that up and subscribe if you're also an Eagles fan. Do a lot of the same content over there. And with NFL season slowly approaching, you're going to want to be subscribed. So if you're an Eagles fan, go check us out. All right. Let's see if I can do this without spraying it everywhere again. Oh, that was flawless. That was flawless. That's what I see in VJ. All-NBA guy, probably even scrapes together a low-level Hall of Fame career. That is high, high praise. I'm not going to go that far yet and say he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but that would be something, man. That would be something. All right. Oh. All right, last shotgun of the day. This one courtesy of Charlie. Really appreciate you. Again, appreciate everybody. Cheers, y'all. Here's to the Sixers hopefully making a move sometime soon. Because they haven't done anything yet besides bringing in Trendon Watford. Which, honestly, pretty decent move. Pretty decent move. All right, let's go. Shout out to Charlie. Cheers, y'all. Move this mic out the way real quick. Woo! Come on. Let's go. Finish this off. Woo! Oh, yeah. Whew. God. There we go, baby. Charlie, appreciate you. That's for you right there. All right. That's going to do it here today. Really hope PG balls out this year. Me too, man. Look, he catches a lot of hate from Sixers fans, and rightfully so. He wasn't very good this season, right? But he dealt with a lot of injuries from the start of the year till the end. And I'm hoping he bounces back. I really, really am. Sixers could really, really use that. I'll tell you what. I think he can still play. My biggest concern with Paul George isn't if he's washed or not. My biggest concern with Paul George is if he's just too injury prone now, which is very much a possibility being that he's getting up there in age and you're paying him all that money. All right, shout out to all my real ones who tuned into the live stream today. Another over 2-hour live show here on day 2 of free agency. Again, if the Sixers make a move tonight and I'm at home, I will make a video. I made a video last night for the Trendon Watford signing. If you still have not checked that out and you want to know more about the Sixers' recent free agency signing in Trendon Watford, go check that out. I encourage you. I also posted a video today detailing some of the latest rumors on Trendon Watford, on Guerschon Yabusele going to the New York Knicks, as well as on Quentin Grimes. And we'll have another video up tomorrow morning looking at some more Sixers free agency rumors. Might mix in some possible free agent targets in there as well as the Sixers look to round out their roster with some vet min deals. Might even look at some trade targets. Who knows? Might get wild on tomorrow morning's video. So if you're not subscribed, hit that sub button. We're 27 people away from 23,000 subscribers. Trying to hit that. If we can hit that tonight, that'd mean a whole lot to me. I'd really, really appreciate it. So thank you for everyone who tuned in today. It was a great, great live show. Over $100 in super chats. Thank you to Rayvon Covington. Thank you to Charlie Raw for chipping in. And thank you to everybody who was just in the chat, commenting, showing love. We'll be back we'll see if we can get live for some Summer League games. We'll see. That game against the Spurs could be really, really interesting. So y'all let me know in the comments if you would like to see us go live for a Summer League game or two to see some of these young guys ball out, because that could be really exciting. Summer League does start this Saturday, by the way. Sixers will play Saturday against the Utah Jazz. So be sure to tune in, watch some of the young guys play. That'll do it for day 2 of NBA free agency right here on 76ers Now. I'm Jake Chidberg. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we'll see you next time right here on the show. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.